There are so many opportunities for the Spirit to just swell. And I remember one of the really testimony strengthening parts of my mission was out in a city way far away from the capital called Itapetininga. And we met this guy. We were out with a member that night and we were just trying to find people. We saw this guy out washing his car or something, getting pretty late into the night. We decided to just talk with him. He let us in. We got to share our testimonies with him and share a little about the first vision and the restoration of the gospel. And one of the questions he asked me specifically was, how do you know this is true? And I had the opportunity to just testify. And the Spirit swelled up so much, especially inside of me. I could feel it tangibly there as I just testified that I said, look, I know it's true. It's not something that came out of the blue to me. It's something that came over lots of time and just kind of realizing that I knew it was true. But as I practice the things that I've learned from this book, the principles and the doctrine that Jesus Christ really did teach to prophets here in the Americas, I just knew it was true. And there are lots of opportunities like that to just share your testimony, to bring the Spirit in, because often people would listen. I loved being able to see people change as well. Not only can you share your testimony a lot, but people just can be so ready sometimes for change. And I've had several different baptisms, a few that were rather unorthodox. There was one lady who we were teaching her, and she just knew it was true. She wanted so badly to go to church, to do everything. And she was 8.5 months pregnant. She was worried that she wouldn't be able to, she would have to postpone the baptism for a long time afterwards. So she was baptized right before, probably the week before having her kid. And I mean, we had a bunch of people in the baptismal font with her, helping her out. But it was amazing to see that. There was a couple as well that his name was Joaquin, and he had heart troubles. In fact, his heart had stopped for something like 6 or 7 minutes at one point in his life. And what brought him back to life was actually a surgical procedure invented by Elder Nelson, and where they opened up some of his heart valves using this special ring that you just insert in, plastic ring that you insert inside, and it saved his life. And because of that, he had tons of health defects, like he would get hypothermia really quickly. If he took a shower that wasn't very warm or even hot, he could get hypothermia. And the day of the baptism, in general, the baptismal font heaters, the water heaters just won't work in Brazil, or they'll be out of commission or whatever. And this one was one of those. It just wasn't working. And we finally filled up the font to a decent level, and we just didn't know what to do. So we spent a few hours getting these giant pans, and we stuck them on top of the stoves, and we put all 4 burners on. We get the water almost to boiling, and we dump it in the font, fill it up again, and go again as much as we could. But the water just wasn't warm enough. And he still chose to be baptized. We let him down into the water, and he tested it, and he said, it's really cold. And his wife just started screaming, no, stop, don't. You're going to die. It's not going to be worth it. And he sat there for a little while just contemplating and thinking, and said, no, I want it. And he stepped down into the water and was baptized, and as he came out, he just felt warm everywhere. Didn't have a single health problem at all, and it was amazing to see. There was a girl as well that on that day, there just wasn't any water during the drought, and we did as much as we could to try and get water out of other people's houses, even out of water basins that were storing it upstairs in the roof of the church building. And we got about 1.5 feet of water. And she said, that's okay, I'm going to be baptized. And we stuck her on her knees, and she laid back into the water, went all the way under, and was baptized. And it was just really cool to see the faith of these people as they knew it was true and they wanted it. and it didn't matter. It didn't matter what they would have to do to have this blessing in their lives. They would do it.